Welcome to this explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're here today because we're going to explore a story that is honestly as bizarre as it is profound. We are diving into a really fascinating, completely surreal piece of folklore about a hunter king, a very unusual eagle, and the extreme, almost unbelievable cost of keeping a promise. This isn't just some simple fairy tale, It's actually an incredible study in stoicism, character, and the long-term rewards of having what looks like completely irrational patience. Let's jump right into the thick of it with this totally bizarre plea. Just imagine the scene for a second. An eagle has just been shot right out of the sky by a powerful king. It plummets to the earth, but instead of dying, it speaks. And what's really wild here is the sheer audacity of what it says. The eagle doesn't just beg for its life, it negotiates. It demands a full 3-year commitment from the exact guy who just tried to kill it, offering some mysterious future value in return. It's a completely ridiculous proposition, right? But it perfectly sets the stage for a massive test of character. Section 1. The Hunter and the Eagle. A fateful encounter. So let's back up a sec to see exactly how the king ended up in this strange situation. To really grasp this, we kind of have to embrace the dreamlike logic of the original fable. So the story goes that the king was this avid animal hunter. One day, he heads out specifically looking for eagles. He spots his target, takes aim, and boom, shoots the eagle right in the wing. The huge bird falls to the ground and it looks dead. But just as the king strolls over and gets ready to deliver the fatal chest shot to finish the job, the creature speaks. It's an amazing moment that brilliantly illustrates a super common theme in ancient fables. That moment of absolute human dominance is suddenly completely flipped upside down by something magical. In an instant, the king is forced to stop being a hunter and start making a really heavy moral choice. Section 2. Kingdom Recession. The Cost of a Promise. Well, the king makes the fateful decision to put down his weapon, spare the eagle, and take it home. But man, this single act of mercy kicks off a massively destructive 3-year trial. The economic fallout of the king's promise is absolutely wild. Let's look at the staggering cost of his word over this time. In year 1, this bird isn't just pecking at birdseed. It starts eating the goats and the calves. It's literally devouring the livestock. Then it gets worse. Over year 2, the bird gradually consumes all the food reserves of the entire kingdom. By year 3, the text explicitly tells us there was a recession. The king's promise to keep this eagle for 3 years has rapidly plunged his entire kingdom into a severe economic and agricultural crisis. Which brings up a really, really good question. Why didn't the king just chase the eagle away? We really have to pause here and think about the sheer weight of this guy's patience. Any normal ruler would have instantly broken that promise to save their economy, right? But the text reveals something incredible. Despite his kingdom completely falling into ruin, the king wasn't upset. He didn't chase the eagle off. He just patiently handled this totally self-inflicted disaster. So the absolute crucial takeaway here is that this wasn't just about sparing a bird anymore. This was a supreme exercise in enduring the consequences of your own commitments, no matter how catastrophic they become in the short term. Section 3. Fear in Flight. The Ultimate Test. After 3 agonizing years of silent endurance pass in a flash, the trial finally hits its climax, and the eagle is ready to repay the debt. Just as suddenly as this whole ordeal started, the eagle drops this incredible request on the king. "Your Majesty, sit on my back." Just like that, this single sentence abruptly ends the 3-year period of waiting and economic devastation. The very bird that has done literally nothing but consume and destroy for 36 straight months is now offering something unimaginable. Now, this sudden request turns into an immense internal psychological challenge for the king. Initially, he was a little scared. And honestly, no kidding, he's being asked to climb onto the back of a giant, magical, kingdom-devouring bird. But here's the turning point. He manages to completely control himself. He masters his anxiety. He has already proven his patience. Now he has to prove his courage. Once the king actually conquers that fear and climbs onto the eagle, the reward is pure magical realism. The eagle takes the king off the ground and goes on this sweeping, breathtaking flight around the entire world. Imagine the massive perspective shift for this king. For 3 years, he was grounded, stuck watching his local economy crumble, trapped in the day-to-day misery of his promise. Now, he's elevated above everything, seeing the whole globe, before the eagle brings him safely back home. It is such a spectacular visual representation of rising above your immediate day-to-day struggles. Section 4. The Eagle's Gift. A Profound Lesson. All right, this is where the whole narrative ties together and we find out the true purpose of that nightmare 3-year trial.
Before leaving forever, the eagle breaks down exactly what just happened. Turns out the bird wasn't just a freeloader, it was a crucible. The eagle specifically praises the king for three things. 1, he kept his word for 3 years. 2, he kept his patience through a totally devastating recession. And 3, he conquered his fear when asked to fly. The eagle reveals that this trial was never really about livestock or food reserves. It was this intense, multifaceted test of the king's internal character. The eagle then drops this absolutely profound piece of parting wisdom. You have done the most difficult tasks very easily. In a short time, you will enjoy the fruits of it. By enduring that crazy, costly trial without anger or regret, the king basically mastered himself. The eagle is essentially telling him that because he achieved these massive internal victories, patience, integrity, courage, every other external challenge in his life is now going to be incredibly easy to overcome.
And we actually get to see the direct result of the eagle's gift play out perfectly. Step 1, the king remembers the lessons of those 3 grueling years. Step 2, he keeps practicing them. That means he constantly applies patience, keeps his word, and conquers his fears in his everyday life as a ruler. And step 3 is the ultimate payoff. He gradually becomes the most powerful king in the entire world. His power didn't come from a huge army or hoarding wealth. His unparalleled power came from the totally unshakable character he forged while keeping a terrible promise to a bird. Which leaves us with a really provocative question to think about. Let's bring this back to us. Think about the big commitments in your own life. When things get difficult, when the metaphorical eagle starts eating into your reserves and causing a recession in your energy or your time or your finances, do you run away? Or do you have the patience to see your absolute hardest promises through to the very end? The ultimate lesson of this fable is that always keeping your word, even when it demands immense sacrifice, is the exact forge that builds the most powerful version of yourself. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I really hope you take these lessons of patience and integrity with you today.